I'm going to talk about a transformation called a reflection. So we're going to answer the essential question, how do I describe and apply transformations to a function? So remember, we're going to be talking about absolute value or quadratic functions. So remember what their vertex forms look like, okay? And when you're talking about it in vertex form, your H will be your horizontal shift, your left or right. So positive, you shift to the left. Negative, you shift to the right. Because remember, when we take it out, it's flipped. Vertical will be your K. In other words, if it's positive, it shifts up. If it's negative, it shifts down. But when we're going to talk about a reflection, we're talking about whether or not A is positive or negative. If A is negative, the function is reflected across the x-axis, okay? In other words, it flips. So think of it like when you stand and you look at your reflection in, let's say, a pond or a body of water, you are reflected. You are opposite. All right, so let's look at some examples. F of x equals negative x squared minus 3. So what transformations have happened? Well, we have a negative a, which would be it's reflected, and we have also have shifted with the k down 3. So we have reflected over the x-axis, and we have shifted down 3 units. All right, so let's look here. Again, our A is negative, and now we have a plus 5. But if you look at it, it's inside these absolute value symbols. So that's our H. So we know that it is reflected over the x-axis, okay? And because it's a positive 5, we know it has shifted 5 to the left. Five units, okay? All right, so let's look at how would you go about reflecting? What would you do? So think of it as just flipping it. So think of it as your vertex touching that x-axis, and you just picking it up and putting it in the other direction. Okay, so the vertex is going to stay the same. And then if you look at these 2 points right here, they're one up. So now they're going to be one down. Okay? If you look at these points, they're 1, 2, 3, 4 up. Now they're going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 down. Oops, I still had it on eraser mode. Okay? And then this one would be right there, 4 down. Now you can draw it reflected. Again, think of it as your little vertex is going to stick to that x-axis, and then you're going to lift up these sides and just flip it over, okay? So vertex is going to stay the same, but instead of being one up, they're one down. Instead of being 2 up, they're 2 down. So now you can draw your transformation. So both of these are reflected over the x-axis. Okay. Now, what are we going to be dealing with here? Well, look, we have a negative a, so we have a reflection. We have an H, okay, so we have a horizontal shift and we have a K, so we have a vertical shift. All right. So what I suggest is that you do your horizontal and vertical and then flip it. Wonderful. So it's -1, so I know I'm going to do 1 to the right and up 3. 1 to the right, up 3. Okay. Then I'm going to do 1 to the right, up 3. 1 to the right, up 3, right there. 1 to the right, up 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1 to the right, 1, 2, 3. So just like that, okay? Now, before you draw your lines, flip it. So this one will be here. Whoops. This one will be here. And you're going to use that point. And then this one will be here and here. Okay. So now I have moved it and reflected it. Ooh, darn it. Why did I do that? I used my eraser instead of my... There we go. Okay. Flipped it. So first I moved it, then I flipped it. That's how I suggest that you do it. So my transformation, it is reflected over the x-axis. Okay. It's shifted left 1 unit, and it's shifted up 3 units. Okay. All right, and I'm going to leave this last one for you, but I'll give you a hint. You have a reflection. You have a horizontal movement, and you have vertical movement. So if you need any help, please come and see me.